Howdy, it's your bud Stalkaz. In today's video, I'm going to do a tier list of fast food restaurants. So as usual, when it comes to tier lists, this is just my personal opinions, and of course it's highly subjective, so we may have a difference of opinion. But that's alright, because life would be boring without that, right? Alright, let's get to it.
Alright, so let's get started with this tier list. So we got S tier, which is heavenly and divine. Then we got A, we got B, we got C, we got D, and then of course the bottom is never 8, never went to, whatever. So let's get to it. So first we got A and W. Better hear A and W, obviously, it's a root beer brand. But a long time ago when I visited my one friend from college, we actually stopped by and ate there. Not too much to write home about. Just standard typical burger joint. So I'll just give it like a B tier, because yeah, basically Arby's. We have the beats, right? I like Arby's because they offer food like a lot of other places don't, like the roast beef sandwiches and all that, and I love the curly fries. They're absolutely to die for. They're so good. And hey, their horseradish sauce is called horsey sauce. So I mean, come on. I'm gonna give them S tier because I can. All right, next is Baja Fresh. I've never heard of this place. Sounds Mexican, but never had. Alright, next up is Blimpie. I've heard of them, never ate there, so never had. Next, Bojangles. Heard of them, never ate. Hope this doesn't become a trend. Boston Market. There used to be one close by, but then they closed down several years ago. From my understanding, they make like rotisserie chicken and like home-style, home-cooked meals. A few times I've had their food. It's pretty good. So, you know what? I'll give them an A. Before I go on, I should mention, like, I pretty sure have like 3 criteria for judging. Quality, of course, is number 1. Number 2 is prices, and then number 3 is service. So, with all these thus far, service has been pretty good, nothing outlandish. Prices, from my understanding, have been pretty reasonable. Like some of these, like A&W and Boston Markets, it's just been such a long time ago. I don't really remember many of my experiences and the prices and all that. So, yeah, it's kind of like a guesstimation. All right, Burger King. This is one of the what I call the big 3, along with McDonald's and Wendy's. Now, Burger King, love their food, really good quality, nice juicy burgers, especially their Whoppers. I like the Texas Double Whopper. Oh, it's so good with the jalapenos and all that. And the fries are really nice and plump and crispy. And they tell you to have it your way. So, guess what? I'll have it my way, and I'll rate them S tier because I can. All right, next is Raising Cane's. I've heard of them, never been there, so there we go. Carl's Jr. Some of them around here, never had. Heard of them. Same old, same old. Ay. Checkers. Heard of them, never had. All right, next up is Chick-fil-A, and it's a good thing I recognize the logo, otherwise I'd be in trouble. So Chick-fil-A like makes chicken sandwiches and that kind of stuff, and basically, back in my previous life, one of my previous lives, I worked at this one store, and in the same shopping center farther down was a Chick-fil-A, and I would often go there for lunch. From what I remember, their food's pretty good. Prices have got to be reasonable, and service was good because I only had like a 30-minute lunch break, so I'll give them an A tier. Chipotle. Oh, I love Mexican food. I'm a Mexican food junkie, so really, really good quality food. Service is excellent. Everyone's so friendly. You get your food nice and quick. One downside is, actually there's a couple downsides. The prices, they're a little on the pricey side. And also they don't give you like complimentary, tortilla chips. So with all that being said, I'll give them an A tier because, hey, they're good. Next up is Church's Chicken. Heard of them? Never had. And next we have Cookout. I've never heard of this place, other than like your traditional family picnics and whatnot. So, never had. Culver's. Again, I've never heard of them, never had. I'm gonna start right out of space. Del Taco. Now, it's an interesting side tangent, but it's related to this. So, almost exactly a year ago, I did this one video called the Pitchy Awards, and basically, there were 5 candidates, and the audience, you guys decided to select the world's biggest bitch via a vote. One of the candidates was the Crazy Meyer lady. Meyer's is like a department store throughout the Midwest, similar to Walmart. But then she also went to Del Taco to unleash her fury. So anyway, prior to that, I didn't even know this place existed. But in any event, never had. Next up is Denny's. Not necessarily a fast food chain, just like a quintessential, you know, sit-down diner style kind of restaurant. I ate there quite frequently in my younger years, but not so much nowadays. But from my understanding, you know, obviously the food's not going to be top-notch, top quality, but it's decent, it's reasonable, prices are really good, good service. I'll be fair and give them a B. Domino's Pizza. Again, you're not going to get the same quality as like a mom-and-pop pizzeria, but you know, the food's good. The prices are pretty much middle of the road, not too bad, nothing too exciting, and service always good customer service. So you know what? I'll give them an A. Dairy Queen. Now, I've actually never had like their hot food. I've only had like the desserts, especially the Blizzard, which is oh my gosh, it's so good. It's basically like ice cream with all like toppings and stuff blended in. It's not necessarily a milkshake. I don't think they add milk to it, but it is so freaking good. If you've never had a Blizzard, you gotta get one. Put that on your bucket list. I'm gonna give best here just because of the Blizzard. Alright, next up we have Polo Loco. I have no idea what that is. Sounds like a Mexican place, but in any event, never had. Next we have Firehouse Subs. Heard of them? Never went. Oh gosh, road to the second row. Five Guys. Another good burger joint. Very, very good food. Very good quality. Very good customer service. I've only been there a couple times. The downside is they're on the steep side in terms of pricing, and they don't offer valuables. At least since I've been there last. I could be mistaken. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll give them a B tier just because the prices could be more reasonable, and you gotta work at that. You gotta have that value meal option. IHOP. Of course, they're ubiquitous. They're everywhere. I've never actually been to one. So, gets plopped with the rest of them. Next up, we have In-N-Out Burger. Heard of them? Never had. Jack in the Box. Heard of them? Never had. Jersey Mike's. See them advertised all the time. Never had. Jimmy John's. Now, before I plop it, you know, you're gonna guess where I'm gonna put this. But back when I attended AnthroCon in Pittsburgh at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center, there actually was a Jimmy John's there. But I never ate there, and I went to other food places. So, yes, you guessed it. Never had. Jollibee. Have no idea what that is. Never been. KFC. Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's finger looking good. Yeah, with the Colonel Sanders. So, yeah, they're pretty good. It's one of those things where you think it's really, really good until you have something better, and then you're like, wow, it's just, oh my gosh. But anyway, with that being said, it's still good food. It's still decent food. Pricing's decent. You know, it's run-of-the-mill. And good customer service. I usually get my food pretty quickly. So with all that being said, you know what? I'll give them an A tier. Little Caesars. Pizza, right? So, obviously, with Little Caesars, for those of you that had it, not the best in terms of pizza. But that being said, if you're looking for like a quick, speedy option, don't want to wait, cheap prices, that's your go-to place. But the quality leaves a little to be desired, so I'll give it a B tier. Long John Silver's, nice fast food chain for seafood. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, like they have fish, they have chicken, and like if you order a meal, you have to get like coleslaw, and you get these things called hush puppies, which is like round balls of dough that are fried. So, all in all, pretty good. Prices are good too. So yeah, I'll give them A. McDonald's. Now, my opinion has changed over the years. It could be just me, but I think their quality has slipped quite a bit in recent years, and I mean, the prices are obviously always going to be decent, and they're pretty speedy, but their quality has really declined as far as my perspective. And the fries, like a lot of people like their fries. I don't understand why. They're flimsy, they're kind of, I don't want to say soggy per se, it's not like they're wet, they're just, I don't know. They leave much to be desired. So they get C treatment. Moe's. Welcome to Moe's! That's what everyone yells as soon as you walk in the door, they say that. And, yeah. Moe's they're really good stuff. They're the arch rival of Chipotle. The quality, it's almost about the same, maybe one tick below, but the prices are a little bit better. And The service is about the same, but the thing with Moe's is you get the free tortilla chips with any meal. Queso's extra, but you get free salsa and all that. So because of all that, I'm gonna give them an S. Noodles & Company. Now this, again, going back to Anthrocon, this is one of the places I ate. It's there in Market Square in downtown Pittsburgh. It's like a green, like a village green with a square, as the name suggests, and around the perimeter of restaurants and eateries, and one of them was Noodles & Company. And you know me, I'm a noodle junkie. I love noodles. So really, really good food. The service was spectacular. In fact, one of the people the person that served me my food, she was like asking me all questions about the furry fandom and the convention, about my fursonas. So maybe that was just a one-off, but you know, quick, speedy service, and the prices were surprisingly really reasonable. So obvious S tier for me. Panda Express, like pretty much like a fast food Chinese restaurant. I've only eaten there a couple times. Food's not the greatest per se, but it's still pretty good. Price is reasonable. Again, quick, speedy service. I'll give them a B because I mean there's plenty of Chinese restaurants that have better food, but you know, it's still pretty alright. Panera Bread. Now I've never physically been to a restaurant. However, at work, whenever we have like meetings or training or whatever, the manager will often order Panera Bread for us for lunch or whatever. And the food has always been pretty good, but I can't really speak to like the prices and customer service. I hear they're a little on the pricey side, but still good food, so I'll give them an A. Next we have Papa John's. Oh yeah, better pizza, better ingredients, Papa John's. I think that's how it goes. I've only had them, went there once, and it was kind of on a steep side in terms of pricing. But it's pretty good pizza and all that. You know what? I'll give them a B, and it's kind of more on me than on them because I didn't give them many chances. I only went there once, so yeah. Next we have PDQ, I believe it says. Forgive me, Vision isn't the best of my first one. Never heard of them. Never had. There we go. Penn Station East Coast subs. Now, oh my gosh. Oh, you're tugging on my heartstrings because I'm a train aficionado. I love talking about trains. I love train history. Back in the day, pre-Amtrak era, there used to be the Pennsylvania Railroad. That was like pretty much like the main predominant rail line in the Northeast, along with the New York Central. And a lot of the cities would name their stations Penn Station because the Pennsylvania Railroad serviced them. Like, for instance, I believe like in Baltimore, Newark, New Jersey, New York, Manhattan's Penn Station's still there. So all that said, though, reeling it back from the wild tangent, I've never heard of them, let alone been there. So yeah, Pizza Hut, no one out Pizza Hut. I beg to differ, but that aside, they're about the same quality as Domino's, maybe one notch below. Prices decent, run the mill. Service pretty good. Yeah. So you know what? I'll give them a B. Yeah. Popeyes. Yep. Popeyes. I've only been there a couple times. I actually think they're quite considerably better than KFC. Although KFC's decent, but Popeyes is a couple notches above. Prices I think are right in the middle. In fact, connecting this with Anthrocon again, I actually stopped by there on the way back home. I stopped by for gas and also for food, and they're pretty good food. Yeah, I'll give them an S tier. Portillo's, never went there. Potbelly, I have no idea what that is. Oh gosh, we're running out of space. Qdoba, never went there. Oh, we're under the third row. Quiznos, toasty. So Quiznos, it's like the same deal between like KFC and Popeyes, where I thought Subway was all the rage, and so yummy, until I had Quiznos, and then it was like an epiphany. My eyes were open. I'm like, Quiznos is so much better than Subway, and the food just tastes better, and the prices are actually about the same. And unfortunately, where I live closed a few years ago, but like the employees have always been nice and friendly, and they're rather speedy. So you know what? I'm gonna give them an S tier because they deserve it. Roy Rogers. Way long ago when I was a youngin', we had to get together, and my aunt ordered or brought over Roy Rogers food. I don't remember too much about it. I just remember it was like really good, and I was like super young guy, so obviously I don't know about customer service experience or the prices. I'll just give him an A because I remember the food was really good, and everyone else was saying how good it was too. So Sbarro. I believe they're like a pizza chain you find in like shopping malls and like highway rest stops. I've never actually had their food, so you have to go with all the others. What do we got here? Schlotzky's? Never heard of that place. Reminds me of Tchotchkes. If you've ever seen the movie Office Space, Joanna, the waitress over at that Tchotchkes, you know, where you have to wear your minimum of 15 pieces of flair. Anyway, side tangent, I know. Anyway, Shake Shack. Heard of it? Never went there. Sheetz. They're primarily basically like a gas station and a convenience store chain. I know they do serve food as well, but I've never actually had their food. So, I'll just have to say never had. Skyline Chili. I have no idea. Never heard of them. Never went there. Sonic. See their commercials all the time. There's a few close by. Never actually went to one. So, yep. Never had. Steak and Shake. Never had them. Oh my goodness. Subway. Eat fresh. So like I mentioned before with Quiznos. Subway 1 or 2 notches below in terms of quality. The food, the prices are reasonable, and the service is pretty good. So, you know, I'll give them a B. Oh, Swenson's. I have no idea what that is. Taco Bell. Bong. You know the Taco Bell bell. Yeah, the familiar sound. Good food, nice and quick, decent prices. I love the Mexican pizza. I'm glad he brought it back. And corporate, keep it. Don't discontinue it ever again. Right? Anyway, pretty good food. Yeah. And being a Mexican food lover. Hey. What do we have here? Taco Lobana. Again, never heard of them, never been there. And next we have Torchy's Tacos. Again, nope. Never went there. Waffle House. Never went there either. Oh my gosh, we're on the 4th row. Wawa. Now, Wawa, there's like one place close by. They're more toward like the southeastern Pennsylvania, like Philly area, whereas Sheetz is more like the south central Pennsylvania, so, and like western. So where I live in Lancaster County, kind of overlap. So, but I actually did eat there quite a few times when I worked at a local library. So it's just like right next door. So I would go there for lunches, and their food was pretty good. And of course, it's gonna be super fast, being in the convenience store. And yeah, the prices are gonna be cheap. So they get A tier. Wendy's, my favorite of the fast food 3, the big 3. Love their burgers, love their fries. Frosties are awesome. The shakes. The one thing that leaves a little to be desired. Besides, well, price is good too, by the way. They're nice and all, but they're slow as you know what. And maybe it's just me, just my luck. But whenever I go there, it usually takes longer than the other places. And I was actually just there yesterday, and it took like 20 minutes to get my food. And so I don't know. I still love their food. It's worth the wait if you have the time. So I'll give them S tier. Next up we have Whataburger. Whataburger. Yeah. Anyway, like they get never had. White Castle. I've heard of them. Everyone's heard of them, but I've never actually had one. What do we have here? Wiener Schnitzel. That's a popular German dish, but I've never heard of that as a store chain, so, or a restaurant chain. What do we have here? Oh, I can't read it. Oh, wings. Wings. I don't know what that is. Never went. And we have, oh my goodness, I can't read. Wingstop. Heard of it? Never went there. Last but not least, Zaxby's. Never went there. There we are. So, right, there's the full tier list. Oh my goodness. Whew. Went through all of them. Huh.
Whoa, so there's my tier list of fast food restaurants. So there's 2 takeaways from this. Number 1, there's a wide, vast array and diversity of choices out there, aren't there? And number 2, I need to get out more and try these restaurants I haven't been to before. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. This is Stalkaz. See ya!